You want to hear a joke?
That would be the first one I've heard from you. Let's hear it.
What has 7 arms and sucks?
Def Leppard.
Okay, so that's twice now that you guys have kind of stepped on my jokes. Even if you know the punchline, you don't say it.
Def Leppard.
Let's try this again. Hey, shut up, Abu. All right. Nate, you want to hear a joke?
Yes.
What has 7 arms and sucks?
Def Leppard.
God.
Bob and Nate, true American heroes. Bob and
And
Nate, true
welcome back to our 8th edition of Uneducated Men. We are your true American heroes, Nate and Bob. Nate, how are you today?
Fantastic, Bob.
Well, this is a very special episode. We have our first actual guest host. He comes all the way from West Virginia. I'm sorry.
Virginia, man.
Virginia. He is let me think about this. Let me say how I get.
He's special. We already said that.
Yeah, we know that. How do I want to introduce you? Well, we invited him on
Here from the country of Abu Dhabi.
No, he's not
Abu.
from Abu Dhabi. No, he is from Bangladesh. So let's start this over. Well, our first guest, who we didn't have to pay, he agreed to come on. He is a Muslim man from the country of Bangladesh, here to give us some insight on the Iranian war and the 3 major religions that we've talked about on the podcast. Without further ado, welcome, Abu.
Hi, everybody. Bob, thank you. Nate, thank you. Great show. I've been listening for the last few weeks, actually more than a few weeks now. The show's getting better every week, so I'm glad to be here.
Until today. No, I'm just kidding. Since you do hail from the Middle Eastern region, is Robert pronouncing that country correctly? Is it Iran or Iran?
Few correction. Bangladesh is not in the Middle East. It's actually in Southeast Asia. People get that region. It's complicated for a lot of folks in the Western part. It's next to India. It's India, Bangladesh, Burma, or Myanmar. So it's like we're landlocked from all sides with India and Myanmar, and then we are open on the Bay of Bengal. We have a Bay of Bengal. You talked about Abu Dhabi? Abu Dhabi is in the UAE, which is in the Middle East.
Now I was making a play on words since your name is Abu, so Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Abu is actually my grandfather's name. But yeah, I have a very complicated name.
I loved them in Aladdin. So anyway, Robert, what's our first question for Abu?
Abu, did you know that West Virginia is more east than Virginia?
Maybe.
A minute ago, you're like, no. Now it's maybe.
Maybe, because I heard it earlier. When you're looking at the geography, I guess, yeah.
What else, Nate?
Are we still doing geography questions? Alaska's further east than Bangladesh?
Alaska's in the middle if you're considering east. No.
Alaska would be considered further
West.
east.
Well, yeah, it depends. Further east, if you're considering from the East Coast onwards, you're looking at Bangladesh on the east. Alaska is on the other side of Bangladesh. So yeah, further east from this side, west from your side.
Perfect. Way to start this off. We have a tradition here on Uneducated Men where we look back and kind of see what we got wrong. Nate, I don't know if you know this, but Abu is an educated man. He has a college degree from some fancy European college that I have never heard of and is probably a part of the Illuminati, but he's here to educate us. Last week, we talked a little bit about Riz, and you asked, well, where did Riz come from? We said we think maybe it came from a guy named Rizzo. It actually comes from the word charisma. Abu knew that too. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
That
He knew
makes,
charisma.
yeah, he knows that street language.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
He's
sense
hip.
to me now. Yeah.
He's hip with the kids. I said that hose in different area codes. I attributed that song to Tupac. It's ludicrous, not Tupac. Hey, on the Super Bowl, when he came out, did you all scream at your TV like me and go, "Stop"? No? Just me? Okay.
Now, is that
I screamed like that when Snoop Dogg came out.
No. What'd you say? Snoop!
I screamed when Janet Jackson's boob popped out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
We talked about Gulf and a sea, the difference between a Gulf and a sea. Nate, you said basically a Gulf is enclosed. That is correct. It's also a shallower body of water than the sea. If you look at the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf, they look exactly the same. The only difference is the Red Sea is about 1,600 meters deep, while the Gulf is only about 150 meters deep.
I feel educated.
Yes, there we go. Abu, have you ever seen a duck eat fish?
Yeah. It's the only source of protein for their younglings. Worms, slugs, snails, small fish, crustaceans.
Interesting.
So what you're saying is ducks are like pelicans and they eat full-grown fish.
They're opportunistic feeders. That's what I would say.
All right. That's a good definition.
Have you spent a lot of time around ducks in West Virginia?
No, man. I spend most of my time in a casino.
Have you ever seen Daffy Duck eat a fish? I have not. So I'm going to stick to my guns here.
It's cartoon.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cartoons, hey, Abu, or let's go with Nate. Nate, what mouse walks on 2 feet?
What mouth?
Mouse. Which
mouse walks on Mickey Mouse?
That's correct. Abu, which duck walks on 2 feet?
All the ducks.
You fucker. Stop. God damn it with these. I should have asked Nate because I can tell by his face he would have fell for it. Update on Hunter Biden. I talked a little bit about Hunter Biden in the last podcast. I've been reaching out to him to try to get him onto the show. Surprising thing happened. I started tweeting at him or whatever they call it now. And the GOP people started attacking me. I've been attacked by liberals on X for a long time. They started coming at me and I started getting blocked and called a bunch of names. It was really bizarre. So Hunter has not responded yet. He was on Gavin Newsom's podcast. I'm sure we're on the list. It's just he's got to go through some of the more prominent people, but we'll get him.
I got to ask, how did you get the GOP people's panties in a bunch?
Because they're following him too, and you're just replying and sending out stuff. I really want to hear you write a book. Come write the book, come on the show. And they're like, oh, he's going to write a book for her. He's a drug addict. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. So what? And they're like, oh, yeah. And he's, he had a laptop. Okay. It was pretty bizarre, to be honest with you.
Nowadays, you probably need a laptop to write a book. So, I mean, yeah, he's got everything going for him.
He's set. Fun fact here for both of you guys. We are the number 7 podcast in Zimbabwe. Number 7. Zimbabwe is 17 million people. It's known for Victoria Falls, one of the world's largest waterfalls, which I found interesting. The country's named Zimbabwe. It's on the Zimbabwe River, yet somehow the waterfall is called Victoria Fall.
I wonder if they enjoy the show because your name's Bob. Zimbabwe.
Interesting thought, yeah.
That could be it. It could be in their Google searches and it comes across. Anyway, Zimbabwe, we love you. I'll be cheering for you in the World Cup.
I don't think Zimbabwe made it. Did they make it the World Cup? No.
They play a lot of cricket though. There's a fun fact that I remember about Zimbabwe. I think their not first ever president, but there was a president called Canaan Banana.
Like Bana, banana?
Yeah. It reminds me of two things. One, that Banana Oliver situation at work.
Anna left her. We talked about what we did with Brent Marks. We changed his name to Brent Skidmarks. Anna Oliver left her email open. And I changed her signature to Banana Oliver. And she wrote a very scathing email to somebody. And it responded, Dear Banana.
Yeah, that was funny. This president, he made it illegal to make fun of his name.
Maybe that's where Ilhan Omar's favorite fruit came from. She's a big fan of Zimbabwe and their president.
Wow.
Jumping right into it. All right, on with the show. Oh, by the way, the real name of the waterfall is Mosi Otunya. That's what they call it in Zimbabwe, but they don't want to give up the white man's money, so they still call it Victoria Falls, named after some queen.
Also, it's hard to pronounce for you guys, I think.
Can you pronounce it?
Mositonia?
Fucker. All right, let's...
That's the first time I heard that, so...
That's why we don't let educated men on the show.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Abu, let's jump into it. Let's talk a little bit about why you're here today. We talked about the Iranian conflict. We said that we believe that Iranian was the bad actor in it. You maybe have a little bit of a different perspective. We also discussed the 3 religions. I have a belief that all 3 religions are exactly the same, with the exception of 2 people, Jesus and Muhammad. Some clarity on this. When we say God, and he says Allah, we were referring to the same person. The Jewish God, the Christian God, and the God of Islam are all the same. I will say probably God because what I know, and if Abu says Allah, we are speaking of the same deity. All right, Abu, what's your thoughts on this Iranian conflict?
I think I missed Nate's one question about is it Iran or Iran? It's Iran, so Iranian.
Okay,
it's Iranian. I would say this.
Russia?
Yeah, sure. You're in the USA. You're freedom of speech, so you can say whatever you want. Obviously, each country to its own. There's conflicts. There's always been conflicts forever. Living in a region where we have been impacted over the years, not really directly impacted, but you've seen quite a bit. The general consensus is like, why is another country trying to dictate another country's sovereignty? That's kind of been the biggest challenge for everybody to understand outside the US. I am a US citizen. I know how I feel about it. I obviously love this country. It's given me everything that I own, everything that I have. I feel like when it comes to some of the directives or agendas of the government, some of them are really geared towards supporting this one country and its interest, whereas it's not supporting our interest in our country, if that makes sense.
I'm assuming when you say the one country, you're saying Israel.
Yes.
The United States government is supporting Israel.
I'm actually talking about the Zionist regime, Israel, yes.
Right, okay. And for those that don't know, what is Zionism?
It's their belief of that land is theirs.
basically came after World War II with the influx of, right. So they moved over. Let me ask you this. Who was there first? Was it Jewish land first?
If you look at history, I mean, I'm not an expert in historical history, but I would say from what I've heard and learned over the years, yes. If you're reading it, it's called Children of Israel in the Quran. When I'm reading the Quran, it's just Children of Israel, Israelites. But then that's not one particular group of people, though. There's been revelations and there's been change over the years.
Gotcha.
Like not every Christian is from the Middle East. As Christianity evolved from there.
So let's get back to Iran. You said that your biggest problem with this is that the United States should not be meddling in the Iranian government and their land, and we should just leave them alone because they're doing their own thing. But what if that same mindset came across when, we'll go back to World War II, when Germany was first starting and we started meddling with them because of the stuff they were doing? Obviously, it's morally wrong for the most part of what they were accomplishing. But if England, the United States, Russia, and other countries didn't step in and just said, let them do their thing, do you think that would have been the right move?
I don't think we were initially involved, right? The US wasn't initially involved. We came into it eventually. Germany had its own intention. They were taking over all over Europe. So when that happens, obviously we have the right to defend. You have the right to defend your own countries. If somebody's attacking us, like here in the US, obviously we have the right to defend. Same thing if I was in Bangladesh. If somebody's trying to take over or there's an attack, we would have the right to defend. So in that scenario, yes, we did in World War II make sense.
Do you believe that Iran's intentions with their nuclear ambitions, did we get ahead of it to stop them before they started attacking other countries or trying to expand their borders?
Why are we the police is the question. Why are we the police? Who gave us that title? Like Great Britain. Who told you you're great? Like, who told you you're Great Britain? There's this Trevor Noah joke where the British come to India and they're like, we're Great Britain. And they're like, who gave you that name? We're Great India. In that
Well,
case.
maybe Britain sucked and then they got a little bit better. We're not going to think about yesterday's Britain. We're talking about today's Britain, which is great.
Brits suck all the time. That's their main thing. They just divide and conquer. That's always been the situation.
The people in Zimbabwe might agree with you on that one. I think they were under British rule for a very long time, were they not?
Literally, that's literally
or French.
Exactly.
Just give a very brief amount of history. Azabu said the Jews were in the land first. Then they lived side by side with the Muslims for many years. Christians came in during Right. The Christians came in during the Crusades, took it over, expelled all the Jews, kicked out the Muslims. The Muslims took back the land in the Second Crusades under Saladin. That area, Greater Palestine area, has been under Muslim control up until 1948. And that's when the Zionist movement was, we want to reclaim some of our land that had been under.
With the help of the British.
Right. We were going to retake back the land that we had thousands of years ago. And this went to the Jerusalem thing that we talked about. The one thing that I do find interesting, Abu, and I understand the point of the Palestine saying, hey, we've been here for thousands of years, is the same people that are free Palestine are also saying we're on stolen land. It's a little ironic that the Palestine weren't the first ones there. We can acknowledge that we weren't the first ones here. The Native Americans were here before us. It's like, we're on stolen land. Hey, but that's bad over there. For me, that always is a little strange. I don't think people sometimes understand what they're outraged against and the contradictions that they have.
You can't say that you're on stolen land. All land has been taken over at some point in time.
I don't disagree. We have to acknowledge that we are on stolen land.
Biggest issue that I would say is with that specific area is if the British came in and said, okay, hey, this is where the Jews live, this is where the Muslims live, which they did with India. They divided Hindus and Muslims. I said, divide and conquer. That's what they did here. But then the Zionist regime taking over, encroaching the lands and expanding. And that's kind of the mainstream issue for majority of the Muslim world. Why would you take over? And then we are okay with it. As a country, the US, we are okay with it. And I don't think we should be.
The Jews want to be there. The Muslims want to be there. I don't think the Christians want to be there anymore. How do they find a peaceful way? Or is it just never going to be, or neither going to accept any type of accord?
No, I think the Muslim world is open to accept a two-state solution, but I don't think Israel and some parts of the US.
Do you think that Israel is committing genocide in the Gaza Strip?
Yeah. 100%. Actually, way more. Yeah, that's bad.
Now, can you look at the other side of this and say they're bombing civilians, but do you believe that the Hamas is living purposely amongst civilians for that reason? That's what Israel states that's happening.
Yeah, when we talk about propaganda, Israeli propaganda is crazy. It's all propaganda. But I'm not saying that Hamas does not exist within that region. It does. It's a small piece of land. Where do you want them to go? You know what I'm saying? So I think when you look at that, evil exists in both sides. I'm not saying evil is only on one side. However, from a peaceful perspective, how do we get to a point where each party has their interests taken care of? And I think the two-state solution makes sense. So that's kind of our way of thinking, obviously, from a Muslim perspective.
Awesome. Nate, you got any more Israel, Iran questions?
Yeah, I'm not educated enough to really speak too much on it. I do find it funny that religion in that part of the world is kind of like our politics here. You say a two-state system would work in Israel. The Muslims and Jews living side by side, when even in the United States, we have a tough time with liberals and conservatives living next to each other.
I don't want to live next to a liberal.
I mean, I live around Republicans all the time. So it's like I work in a place where it's all Republicans. So it's all good. I can live in a situation like that because I'm open to everybody's beliefs and open to everybody's understanding of how they think. But I do have my core belief too.
For many years in that land, the Jewish community and the Muslim community did live side by side. And this kind of leads us into our next topic, because I'm a firm believer that there's really no difference in the religion, with the exception of one believes in a prophet that came later on and the other doesn't. Other than that, they are the same basic everything. Same people, same stories. There's some things that we'll talk about here that change up a little bit. But what is your thought on basically Jews and Muslims being the same, Abu, as a Muslim?
God, which obviously Allah for us, all three religions that you're talking about. From the very beginning, it's one religion. So there's no segregation within the three. It's people coming into play where they change the concept because it fits their bill at that point. From the very beginning, the core message never changed. It's just one God, which is Allah. You should be following all the stipulations, rules that has been deemed for you to follow in this world. The different prophets came to different people and at different times, because God never changed his plans. He knew from the very beginning. That's our belief. It just teaches the revelation unfolding according to God's plan at different times. Because each time people's minds changed, things evolved. And in that sense, the people that were, like, let's say if you're talking about Moses, Noah, and Ishmael, and then Jesus and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon all of them, I think the plan has always been the same. It's always been one God, no idol worshiping. And obviously monotheism is the key.
We wanted to bring you on because we have some questions. First, I want to state I am a non-believer. I respect everybody's right to believe whatever they want. I will probably the only person in a religious debate that will say I might be wrong. And I will admit that you might be right and I might be wrong. I know you can't do that because as a believer, you have to believe in what you're saying. But the fact is, it's just a belief. We don't know. Nobody's spoken to God in 1,500 years. Nobody we know has ever been to heaven or paradise or wherever it is. It's just a belief. It's not a fact. The questions here aren't to be gotcha questions, but do want to get you some challenging questions that I've asked for 3 decades and can never get the answer to. Nate, you ready to ask some questions to Boo?
Yeah, I got a really good one.
All right, perfect. So you want to go first or you want me to kick it off?
Yeah, no, I'll go first. Okay, here's the question. I got an email here from my friend from Zimbabwe. How many virgins do suicide bombers really get when they get into heaven?
Wow.
No. So do you believe in the 72 virgins? I know that's like on a subsect of something else.
I mean, yeah, I haven't really studied that portion of
Okay.
the thing that you guys talking about. So.
They didn't teach that part in
There is
Oxford.
no-
Got it.
Yeah.
No. He didn't go to Oxford. I know about Oxford. He went to some secret Illuminati college that
No.
the privilege go to.
London South Bank. It's all good.
Yeah, you ever heard of London South Bank College? Exactly. You got to go through a secret entrance to get to it with a knock. All right,
It's in the River Thames. Yeah.
Yeah, underneath, right? In a secret layer with the rest of the Umbrella Academy.
All right, so suicide bombers don't get virgins. Got it. Go ahead.
No, suicide bombers, man, bro. Like, yeah, no. Suicide bombers don't get shit anywhere. That's all I
Good.
can say. Because Islam is like
Actually-
a religion of peace.
After they detonate, they got shit everywhere.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't think you got the joke. All right, here we go. Is God wrong? Is he infallible? Or can he make mistakes?
If we think God makes mistakes, then he's not God. It's a human. In Islam, Allah is perfect, infallible. He
Gotcha.
possesses all knowledge, wisdom, and power.
Do you believe God actually spoke to Moses?
Yes.
And Moses, what he wrote is the word of God.
So according to our scripture, it does talk about a lot of Moses, a lot about Noah, about Adam, and Jesus.
Wait,
So, sorry, go
so
ahead.
Noah's in both religions. I didn't know that.
He's in all 3 religions.
All 3 religions are Abrahamic religion. Adam, Noah, Abraham, Jesus. Jesus is our prophet too, by the way. I know it was mentioned earlier that we don't believe in Jesus. We do believe in Jesus. We just don't believe that he's God. He's not God.
So all religions believe a guy built a boat and put 2 of every animal on it.
Yes.
I'll be damned.
Yep. Things they believed back then. So let's start with Adam. You mentioned Adam. Genesis 1 says that God created the heaven, the earth, the stars. On the 6th day, he created man and woman out of clay. The very next chapter, Genesis 2, it says God created Adam out of dust, and he was alone for quite some time, became lonely. Then God gave him some pets. The pets didn't make him happy, so he then put him to sleep and took a rib and made Eve, which doesn't make sense. Why don't you just make her out of the same shit you made Adam out of? My point back to God doesn't make mistakes. It felt like God didn't realize that Adam needed a partner in the very beginning, and it just kind of was winging it as he went. It was like, oh, here's a dog. Oh, dog didn't make you happy? Shit, let me give you some birds. The birds didn't make you happy? Let me give you this woman. Then he probably got less happy because we've all been in relationships. It doesn't seem like he is all-knowing.
I would say God is an inventor, but an even better innovator. Not that he made
Elon
a
Musk,
mistake,
maybe?
he just made something better.
A woman's better than a man? Oh, that's a tough
guess the
question. You can't say no or yes to that.
No, the situation was better.
I'm just listening to you guys. I was going to say this. Whatever you're saying, that's a belief. Not for us, though. What we believe in is obviously Allah is perfect and fallible. He knows past, present, and future. He built the realm, the world, the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't say Adam was lonely. That's not what our scripture says. It does say that he was created, then he was taught all the stuff in the world. And then Eve, Hawa, we call her, she was created from a bone. Doesn't really specify the sequence of what you had mentioned, if that makes sense.
He wasn't lonely, he was horny.
When we look at the concept, he wanted humans to be sovereign, to rule the world. We are the greatest creation of Allah. We're sent down to rule the world, manage it, and have a life, if that makes sense.
Maybe his one mistake was he wanted dinosaurs to rule the world and said, no, this ain't working out. Landed a few comets on Earth and started all over with Adam.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
I don't know about dinosaurs, but I know they existed. There's no mention of it. I'm not saying that we don't believe in it. I'm saying whatever God has willed has happened. And there's always a plan on why it happened. He's all-knowing, so he knows. Because if we knew it, then we wouldn't be humans.
Muhammad came about 2,500 years after Moses. That means 2,500 years God allowed the Jews to be his chosen people. Why the switch? Why tell Moses that the chosen people are you, the Messiah and the prophets will be Jewish, then go to a pagan guy in the desert and say, hey, buddy, I was wrong. Go lead a new religion for me.
So we as humans have free will. When you look at the concept for us as Muslims, the world is just a temporary place. You're sent here to pray and make sure that you're following the rules and living a good life for afterlife. When you're sent here, you have the free will to do whatever you may choose. However, the teachings you have to follow so you have a good afterlife. And that's what I would say. If you're looking at God's knowledge, we can't comprehend what he's taught because we are humans. But we have free will. When you're looking at your choices, that's where the free will comes in. You have a free will to choose either, okay, hey, God exists and I'm going to pray, or I don't know how my heart's beating and how my brain works and how this world is staying intact. Who's controlling it? Yeah, it's not us. Somebody is.
I appreciate that we have free will because I like that we're allowed to believe what we want to believe. I respect your belief. Nate, before we wrap this topic up, do you have any other questions on the Muslims before we get into something a little more fun?
No, I'll see you in hell, Bob.
Yeah, probably. One question for you, Boo. What is it with the pork that Jews and Muslims don't eat pork?
It's not considered a clean animal. It's actually all the religions. Even Christians shouldn't be eating pork either. Christians shouldn't be drinking either. So
the pigs will eat anything that comes their way, but so will chickens. And then chickens somehow get a pass as being a bird, so it doesn't count. And I don't know if you know this, but corn, Nate's a farmer. He used to grow corn. Corn's grown in shit. I don't know how clean that is.
Not necessarily true, but why is it that cows, which cows are a pretty clean animal, if I were to choose an animal to eat, I think a cow would be it. But instead, y'all in Bangladesh say, no, that cow's better than humans. We ain't going to eat that.
You don't eat cows in Bangladesh?
we do. That's India. That's Hindus.
Close enough. Why don't people in India eat cows?
They think it's divine. They think it's God. They have this whole divine process. It's a God for them. I don't know. I'm not really educated on the Hinduism. I have a lot of Hindu friends, but I haven't really delved.
Cows are the reincarnation of mooses.
Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. On that note,
The reason why we say we shouldn't be eating pigs, they consume waste, like a lot of waste and decaying matter. And that's kind of one reason it's ordained that you don't.
Nate worked on a turkey farm. He can tell you that turkey will eat about anything you put in front of it.
Yeah, turkeys are pretty dumb. But pigs are listed as the smartest animals, so maybe what they're doing isn't all bad.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to a little bit of a fun topic after that religious one that probably left people a little uncomfortable. You guys are at a little bit of a disadvantage here because I know the answers to the questions. Well, I don't say answer the questions. I know the questions and had some time to think about it. Obviously, I'm a little bit more intelligent than you, but we're still going to do this anyway. We'll start off with you, Abu, and Nate, I'm going to ask you the same question. What's the greatest movie of all time, Abu? And Abu, you have to give us like an American movie, no Slumdog Millionaire Bollywood bullshit.
So Slumdog Millionaire was Hollywood movie, dude. It's okay. Shawshank Redemption.
Why?
Because I just like the story. It's the friendship, the story. It was just really, really emotional. And I think Pursuit of Happiness, that was another one.
I can do a Morgan Freeman impersonation. Did you know that?
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Yes, get busy living or
Nope.
get busy dying.
Nope.
That sounds just like him. Nate, your favorite, what do you think is the best movie or your favorite movie of all time?
You sound like that character from The Office. What's his name, Nate? Toby.
Toby. Thank you. Oh, that's a great segue. I actually reached out to Toby. If we can play clip 1 here.
Welcome to this abbreviated Uneducated Men clip. I had to reach out to my guy Toby from The Office after my co-host said something very stupid. Toby, I know you squeezed me in, greatly appreciate it. You mind if I show you this brief clip of what my co-host said?
Yes, absolutely.
Which character would you be? And by looks, if that's what we're going by, I would have to say you look closer to Toby than any of the other characters.
I think Michael Scott would be a similar Toby.
Looks?
I don't look anything like Toby.
You look identical. Like I'm looking at your face right now, and all I think is Toby from The Office.
I don't know.
You think that you and I are on the same level looks-wise?
No, I wouldn't say that. You are much better looking than me.
But I'm not trying to punch down on you, my guy. You're good looking in your own unique way, I guess. But I'm movie star quality good looking, like a Channing Tatum.
No, I was thinking more like Bradley Cooper or Brad Pitt.
Yeah, either one of those, I can see the resemblance as well. But my co-host kind of looks like, I don't know, if Pete Buttigieg had a little wimpy brother.
But as you can see, even Toby disagrees with Nate. I do not look anything like him. I look more like Channing Tatum. Nate, what is your favorite movie of all time?
I'm sure Toby was a little offended to that comparison, so that's why he's denying
I
it.
agree.
Favorite movie of all time would be the movie Major League.
Really?
Major League. If that's on TV, I am stopping the channel and I am watching whatever's left of it.
Who's your favorite character in Major League?
Charlie Sheen.
I put Ricky Vaughn.
Favorite Ricky Vaughn. There you go.
Yeah, Ricky Vaughn. Throwing the heater, Ricky. Obviously, those are good answers, but the correct answer we were looking for was The Princess Bride. Undoubtedly the greatest movie ever made. I am the Dread Pirate Roberts. But yeah, there's
Wait,
not.
Princess
Hello,
Bride?
my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Princess Bride. You never seen The Princess Bride?
I don't know.
I don't think
It's
he
an old
has.
movie.
If you did, you'd know. If you did, you'd know.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
You're going to have to watch it.
I just Googled it. Andre the Giant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Andre the Giant was,
Wow.
Andre the Giant. Yeah, it's a Princess Buttercup.
1987. I was
Yeah.
only 2 years old.
So, fun fact
That's-
of The Princess Bride, the main actor, Carrie Ells, and Bob was a witness, had once asked to take a photo with me.
That's very true. I did see that.
Oh, cool.
I think it was the opening. Oh, no. Something for the Beatles' Love, right? I think it was like
It was a golf tournament reception at the Parlor Lounge inside of the Mirage. And Carrie Ells walked up
Oh,
to me and
yeah.
said, "You look like somebody I need to take a photo with." So I happily did.
Nice. Parlor Lounge. Reminds me of a lot of
Yeah.
stories.
Abu, what's the best food of all time?
Ooh.
Pork.
I do have to talk about I do have to talk about Bengali food here. The beef curry that we make in our region.
That sounds delicious.
It's called kalabuna.
What? Calabuna?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Kalabuna.
Calabuna Bay? Like the water park?
No.
Sounds
Nate, what's your favorite food of all time?
easy. Tater tot hot dish.
If you're not from Minnesota, you've never heard of it. Yeah. What,
Tater
you want
tot
to describe it for us?
order- Yeah, exactly. What is it?
So we take some fresh beef from India and we cook that up and mix it with some cream of mushroom soup. Put that in the pan. On top of that is green beans. Then you layer it with a couple different choices of cheese, scattered with hash browns, and then tater tots on top. Put it in the oven for about an hour and it will change your life.
I don't think Indian meat is allowed in the US, but cool.
Yeah, my understanding is that it can change homosexual man to heterosexual. So Nate had a lot growing up. It finally, I think, worked. Again, really great answers, guys. But the correct answer here was pepperoni pizza. No pepperoni.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, Bob.
That's fantastic. You cook the pizza with the pepperoni and then you pull the pepperoni off. Fun story about this. I don't know how fun it is, but we might have to cut this. Me and Abu were working and we were both hungry. So I got half pepperoni half cheese for him because he can't eat pork. And I gave him his 4 slices of cheese. I took my pepperoni. He later found out that it was the same pie, and he didn't talk to me for like 3 days. He was so mad at me. And I thought I was doing the right thing by getting him the cheese. And he was like, bro, but it's the same pizza. And I was like, but it was the same.
Yeah, it's the oil, man. It's the oil from the pepperoni.
Like, he was so mad at me. Literally didn't talk to me for 3 days. I apologized.
Yeah. That was probably because that 2 days in between were my days off, and he was busy the third day. So yeah.
And it's a known fact. If Muslims don't talk to you for 3 days, it erases all sins. So now, technically, he hasn't eaten pepperoni, so he's good.
It's not our kryptonite, though, so it's all good.
Yeah.
We can eat pork by mistake and just say like, yo, like Bob's gonna go to hell because of that.
But there wasn't any pork on your side. That's the thing. What's your cocktail of choice? You had your go-to. You have to have one drink. What are you going with?
Can my one cocktail have 2 drinks? A Truly with a shot of tequila on the side, preferably Blanco.
Any type of Truly, and what tequila?
Any of the punches, and my choice of tequila would be Lalo.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Abu, would yours be, what's that, rum chata and Jack Fire?
Not anymore, man. I don't drink anymore.
Okay, well, what was it?
I would say that was your choice of drink during rodeo.
Yeah.
To get everybody drunk, including Paul Pace.
Yeah.
That and about 17 Coors Lights in 30 minutes.
I also don't drink anymore because of that. But if you had to pick, Abu, if you were going to knock one back, what would it be?
Ooh, I would say I would go for the cucumber cooler at Center Bar.
Okay. So Hendrick's gin with a little bit of simple syrup and a nice, refreshing Saint Germain. I think there was aloe in there as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Nate, go ahead. Tell us. Aloe.
That was the aloe. Yeah, it was the aloe liqueur.
You guys are really hitting out of the park. But once again, it's incorrect. The correct answer is alcohol is poison. I prefer to have Fanta. But, thank you guys for playing. I think you did an amazing job.
Fanta is also very sugary.
Yeah, it's not poison alcohol. Nate, what do you know about Bitcoin?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's a scam. But
I do know there's a Bitcoin store on East Sahara, and I drive by it every now and then, and I have never seen a car in the parking lot. So, yeah, no idea what they do.
Abu owned Bitcoin at one point. I think he sold it to buy Penn stock at $100. I think Penn's trading at like $3 a share now. Bitcoin, it got up to over $100,000 per coin. It's recently dipped down to 65. It has no value. It's one of the biggest scams that I've ever seen. They don't know who made it. So they know who made it, but they don't know who the actual person is. You play a video game and then they give you a coin. There's 21 million coins that will eventually be minted, as they say. There's a company called MicroStrategy that's just basically been buying Bitcoins for the last couple of years, and this is what's helped raise the price of it. And that's a huge Ponzi scam. He goes out, he issues stock. You give him money, he goes in and buys Bitcoin. What he doesn't do is issue stock for Bitcoin, which if you wanted Bitcoin, why do you take cash? It's supposed to be the new type of digital currency to replace cash, but yet I sell stock for cash, and I have a bunch of cash. He owns 843,000 Bitcoins. It's 4% of all Bitcoins. I don't own Bitcoin. I just wanted to kind of see if you guys did, what you thought about it, if you really think that Bitcoin is the new digital currency.
So this is what I do know about Bitcoin. And this was, 15, 17 years ago when it was first coming out. And there was a kid that worked in finance, and he'd always come into the F&B office and we would chat. And then he told me that he put his notice in. I said, where are you going? And he goes, oh, I'm going to go work with some friends that have a startup company called Bitcoin. And I go, oh, what's that? And he tried to explain it to me, and it went over my head because, like you, it made no sense to me. But that kid now is probably a multi-billionaire in fact, if he did was to get in a startup with a group of guys. So I don't know if it's a singular guy that started Bitcoin, but it sounded like back then it was a group of young males that came up with this idea, and then obviously it took off.
One guy, started. His name is like Satoshi or Satoshi or something like that. They don't know who he is. He owns a large percent of Bitcoins. He created the blockchain that you work on.
That's a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, whatever. But they don't know who he is.
Adam Beck.
Oh, yeah, maybe, potentially. Whoever he is, he's never touched his Bitcoin stash that he has. I have a hard time investing in things that don't make sense. Now, a Bitcoin is not the same as all crypto, and all crypto isn't the same as Bitcoin. Stable coins are different. There's going to be a place for stable coins. You're going to see those come out. And basically, stable coins, a coin, a digital token that is tied to a fiat style currency, usually the US dollar, where the Bitcoin just is a speculative nothing. Nobody can explain how one of them is worth $100,000 at some point. It's just made up. It's completely made up.
It's the hype. It's like the hype on the Trump coin, right? I thought you guys bought it. Did you guys buy it?
No, fuck no. Do you know that his family has made over $2 billion on that stupid ass coin and stuff like that? $2 billion.
And the UFC fight, and the list goes on.
Everybody's all pissed off and like, well, you said Hunter was bad. Look what the Trump kids are doing. They're businessmen. It's not like they're selling the Trump coin to the government. Dumbasses are buying it. Like,
So the Trump coin
whatever.
has no value. It's just it's a medallion.
Yeah, it's a coin. You could trade it. It has value. Value is just what somebody is willing to pay. Like,
Well, does it have a value of gold or silver inside of it?
No.
Worth
But
the
neither
amount
does
of-
Bitcoin.
No, I'm not
Bitcoin is
comparing the two.
basically.
I'm not saying Bitcoin's right.
No. So yeah, there's no value to the Trump coin. And once he leaves office, it'll crash. Trump is on the downside of everything. He's going to become really irrelevant pretty soon. And the sad point is he might lose it because it's over for him after the elections. He's a lame duck president, and you've seen what they'll do to him when he no longer has power. I think it's going to be interesting to see. He's 80. Today's his birthday, as a matter of fact. For a long time, he didn't look old, and he looks old. My man's falling asleep in the middle of shit. All the stuff we made fun of Joe Biden, Trump's doing, and people are like, no, he's fine. No, he's 80. Let's just call it what it is.
Abu, after the show, can you text me your address so I can send you something?
Please, yeah, sure.
It's make sure he puts West Virginia.
to West
He likes to tell
Virginia.
people he's in Virginia. Yeah, I live in Virginia. No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Literally. I'll send you a Google thing.
It's just like the guy that lives in Spring Valley and says, I live in Summerlin. No, you do not. You live off of Buffalo. All right. So, guys, have you ever met anybody who is just actually satisfied? I'm not lazy or unmotivated, but just generally content with their life, just happy. Well, here I am.
Justin Trudeau in the USA game next to Katy Perry.
Thanks for ruining the Canada Sucks segment, but since you brought it up, Justin Thoreau. Is it Thoreau or Trudeau?
Trudeau.
Okay. Trudeau. His country played a game in Toronto, and this fucker skipped it and went to LA to watch the USA team. If that doesn't tell you Canada sucks,
Sucks,
I
yeah.
don't know what else does. But that was kind of the whole Canadian segment. I'll have to think of something else.
Sorry.
It's okay. But the reason why I asked this question is because I've really found that life comes down to two people, happy people and unhappy people. And it seems like the happy people are continuously trying to make the unhappy people happy, and it never works.
That's a pretty layman, I guess, comparison. But so you said, are people content with life? And I assume that you're leading to that, those being happy people.
Yeah, I would say, right? People that are just happy with their life.
Where I work, there's somebody that has been employed at that same place doing the same job for 49 years. 49 years doing the exact same job at the exact same place. So could you call that person happy?
I don't know. Are they? Potentially.
I'd be fucking miserable doing the same thing for 49 years and doing the exact same drive to work and back home and yada, yada. If that person's happy doing that, and of course one can assume that they are because they continue to do it, but
They
I'm
might
not
be happy
unhappy.
with that, though.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not going to say, you're saying there's two types of people, happy and unhappy. I won't say I'm an unhappy person because I don't enjoy doing the same thing over and over again. I guess I would be more happy doing what I am doing and switching things up and experiencing other things.
I say happy and unhappy because I've seen unhappy people in life that find something to be unhappy about. You go in, you do whatever you can maybe even correct it. Then they just move on to the next thing that makes them unhappy. It's a vicious loop of unhappiness. And I'll tell you a quick story. I had a property president who wanted to be the hero, and he heard that some of the employees were unhappy, and he was like, I want to talk to them. I was like, why? You're not going to make them happy. And he's like, let me tell you about me. I'm known to do this. All right, cool. He met with them. They gave him a list of demands. My man met every single one. I'll give him credit. Everything they asked for, he went and he accomplished. And about 2 months later, he went back. Same people were miserable and pissed off again about something new. And he couldn't believe it. He brought me in the office. What the hell? I did everything they asked. I don't understand. You're never going to make unhappy people happy. And I just see that a lot in our world now today. They move on from one thing to another. Oh, I'm pissed off about this. Then they're pissed off about something else, and they're mad about something else. And even in relationships, I've dated women that, oh, I want these shoes. And you get them the shoes. For a week, they're happy. Like a week later, they're unhappy about something else. Oh, I want this. And you get them that. Or Susie's and Billy are going to Greece. I want to go to Greece. And then you go to Greece, and then a week later, they're unhappy again. The point being is it's a vicious loop.
When did you go to Greece?
I've never been
Yeah,
to Greece.
I was going to ask, like, I've
So
never
these
seen
are all
you fly.
hypothetical.
I've been to Tampa a few times.
Did you drive?
Orlando. No, well, I made that drive before, but not. I fly now. Coach.
The sad part is these unhappy people have kids and teach them to be unhappy as well.
And a lot of that is social media.
Yeah, I was going to say it's that because it's like the fear of missing out. Like, oh, okay, this is happening. Why am I not doing this? I'm trying to go to Greece, but then Bob is playing Apex with his friend Nate all day.
Being happy.
Yeah.
Hey, someone being happy. Could be someone's unhappiness, just saying.
Well, social media is definitely a place where people look at somebody else's life and thinks that they're living a perfect life, and then they want to emulate that. I think social media has probably killed a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages. All you see is what they want you to see, and you never really see the truth of it.
But there's underlying problems too. You just have a lack of confidence if you go to social media and dwell on what other people doing and you're not.
Well, that kind of leads us into why Canada sucks. Let's talk about Canada.
Canada sucks because it's cold.
There are so many reasons why they suck. So what's the main reason today, Bob?
Oh, besides their ex-prime minister not wanting to go watch them play soccer. Canada, on what we were just talking about social media, Canada just introduced a bill that would ban children 16 and under from social media. What do you think about that?
Me personally, I just don't like laws, and that's a really dumbass law. And of course, it's a liberal, very liberal country that does that. You have the silent majority that live in the middle of the country of Canada that don't have a choice in anything. Adding laws on dictating when you can go onto your phone or computer to look at social media is probably the dumbest thing I've heard today.
Abu?
I would say I am not in favor of a government governing what I do, but I do govern what my daughter does on her phone. There's parental controls on our phone. But I would definitely say, even if you do something like that, if somebody told me when I was like 14 that, hey, you can't do this, I'm going to find ways to do it.
Yeah, you make it desirable by making it illegal.
I know my nieces and nephews, you tell them like, yo, you can't do this. And then they're like finding ways to circumvent the whole system, VPN, things of that nature. And then now like they're on Facebook, TikTok, whatever.
I think you said it right, Abu. It's not the government's place to dictate what age you can go on social media. That's a parenting thing. And you just said it right. Like, as long as you're doing your job as a dad and limiting the amount of social media that they see, then that should be suffice. You can't have government protect kids from bad parenting. Sorry, it's just, that's not the way it works.
Yeah. My daughter just keeps saying, hey, can I get screen time? I'm like, nope, you're done for the day.
There was a really terrible rap group in Florida called Two Live Crew that came out with a record that was very obscene, and it sucked. Nobody liked it. It was going nowhere. And then the Governor Martinez at the time, came out and outlawed Two Live Crew to be sold. Instantaneously, they became the biggest band in America. Luke Skywalker was the name of their hit song was called Me So Horny. Oh, Me So Horny. Not a joke. People who listen that will know this, but you had to have that. They went from being obscure nobodies to instantaneously, every kid had to have Two Live Crew, Nasty As We Want to Be. And that's the same thing with this. I agree that kids under 16 should not be on social media, but the minute that you outlaw it and tell them they can't do it, they're just going to want to do it. And if you've ever been to college, the girl that wasn't allowed to do anything, the very restrictive father or came from a church background, the minute she got into college, she was the one that everybody wanted to hang out with. Having the government come in, even though I agree with it, I don't think this is government's place. We all agree that Canada, once again, is proving why they suck. So the Spurs pulled to Canada. Did you see that game? They were up 30.
29 points. And then yesterday they had a nice lead as well and shit the bed.
So I don't know if you know this, San Antonio is St. Anthony. St. Anthony is the saint of lost things. He died at the age of 35, choking on a Big Apple. That doesn't really tie into Canada except for the whole Canadian, pulling to Canada. If you watch the pod, you understand that Munson reference.
Well, we all know now.
Perfect. That's all I got for Canada. We talked about the Prime Minister. World Cup. Abu is wearing a Argentinian jersey. Big fans over there in Bangladesh of Argentinian. Yeah, number 10, Messi. I think he's oldest person to ever play in a World Cup game.
No,
he's like 82 at this point.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's super old. Nate, did you watch the World Cup?
I've watched a little bit here and there. I believe Hitler was actually a big fan of Argentina's soccer team once he moved there after World War II.
I think he's still there.
I've seen photos. Him and Elvis just chilling in the rainforest.
Got a haircut and shaved the mustache.
But no, excited for the World Cup once we get out of these pool games and into the actual tournament of 32. Some cruddy games like Germany and Curacao right now. I have the over of 4.5 goals. I'm not watching it, so hopefully I'm close to that. But
they're 4-1
USA
now.
4-1?
I took a...
Yeah, I've been
Is it
tracking
4-1?
them. Yeah, 4-1.
Oh, hey, I just hit my bet. I actually took a plus 250 that both teams would score in that game. So winner, chicken dinner. I don't want to say that. That's a stupid. I can't believe I said that. I actually got the United States to win. I think we talked about that in the last podcast, but nobody got to hear it because it got disconnected. But I got United States. I bet $10. It pays 500, and I got another bet that can pay me 5,000, which I don't know if I'll collect on if it happens. Do you think the U.S. has a legitimate shot to bring home or keep the World Cup here in America?
Not a chance. I'll laugh that one off, and Abu, you can probably give a more scientific answer to that.
After watching them play, and especially with the coach that we have now, Pochettino, the way the men's team played, they have a good chance, obviously, going to the next round of 32. There's about 50-60% chance for them to get to the next round after that. Definitely looking a lot better than what we were years ago. Again, talking about the coach who's coached teams in Europe, and the gameplay was completely European. The tiki-taka passing ball, the 26 pass goal, that was just simply amazing. I would want them to win, but then I'm a big Argentina fan, so I have two teams playing, Argentina and the US.
What's your thoughts, Robert? Obviously, you bet it, so you think that there's some hope.
First, let me say, I don't think soccer's a real sport.
Please.
I'm sorry to say that to you. My 2-year-old daughter was able to kick a ball into a goal, but she could not pick up a pickleball paddle and hit it. It's not really something I'm truly interested in because I don't think it takes any skill to play soccer.
That's why you got to travel, Bob. That's why you got to take that plane to Greece, man.
But I will say this, if the USA does win and they make a movie about it, Russell Crowe will definitely play the head coach because they look identical. Similar to me and Channing Tatum.
Toby.
Yeah, especially with that haircut.
You and Toby.
What the fuck, Abu? Like, God, like, don't come onto my podcast and insulting me. We make fun of Nathaniel here, you're not.
There's
Listen,
nothing
let
to
me
make
explain
fun
to you. I am the star of the show. I'm the executive producer. I am the writer. I'm the comedian. You can't come on my show and I'm going to cut out your joke. So V, play tonight. This is a little bit of Schrödinger's cat. You know who Schrödinger's cat? You guys ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah. It's in quantum physics. There's a cat in a box and there's some poison. And
Did you just say
simultaneously?
Yeah, I was going to say, what did you say? Quantum
physics?
Quantum physics.
What is
Schrödinger's cat
you, Bob?
is a okay. I'm not liking how this is starting.
What's your favorite
here
scotch,
on-
Glenfiddich?
I don't. You think that's funny, Abu? That's not even a good joke. Anyway, Schrödinger's cat is a cat in a box, and inside the box is food and poison. You could either determine that the cat is alive or dead, and until you open the box, you can't really know. So that's what I'm talking about for VGK. The VGK plays tonight. By the time people hear this podcast, the VGK could either be alive or they could be dead. So it's a little bit of a Schrödinger's cat. Hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, we're looking at a game 7. That Carolina team, man, and Nate said it from the very beginning, they're bad like Corn Pop. Abu, you know who Corn Pop is?
No.
He's a bad dude.
Rolled with some bad guys. If VGK has a shot, they need to sit the goalie.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's got him this far to dance with the girl that brought you.
Well, he didn't get him that far. The offense is scoring 5-6 goals a game. That's what's getting him there. And this guy's allowing 6-7 goals a game. They got to bring in the backup.
Before we go, Abu, anything on the cricket world that you think our listeners want to know about?
It's like baseball, boring.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about cricket. I saw a cricket score, not joking, 307 to 290. Yeah. What the fuck?
Cricket is just too long. Well, the short form of cricket is not bad. I used to play cricket when I was back home for quite a bit, but then football is the way to go. Not your
in
football.
Southeast Asia?
No, West Virginia.
Cricket's a fun game to bet on.
What do you bet the over?
It all depends. I'll go into live betting, and then I'll find New Delhi versus whatever team in cricket, and you bet on it. And to Abu's point, it takes so long. So I'll have the bet in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still watching it at 10 o'clock.
It's like a baked potato.
Yeah, 50 over game, yes.
It takes like 3 hours to cook a baked potato.
It takes 6 hours for the game, yeah.
Fuck that. Nate, I want to hear a joke?
That would be the first one I've heard from you. Let's hear it.
What has 7 arms and sucks?
Def Leppard.
Okay, so that's twice now that you guys have kind of stepped on my jokes. Even if you know the punchline, you don't say it.
Def Leppard.
Let's try this again. Hey, shut up, Abu. All right. Nate, you want to hear a joke?
Yes.
What has 7 arms and sucks?
Def Leppard.
God damn it. That's going to wrap up our show today.
Well, hold on. I'd like to use this platform to call out my victory versus a baby giraffe named Michael Watkins. The guy that breaks ankles while playing basketball thinks he can beat me in the game of pickleball. Well, my friend, you will find out at 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday that you too suck at that sport.
I can't wait to discuss this on the next podcast. I'm going to make Watkins a minus 125 favorite here. Put Nate at plus 115.
All right. I would like to shout out a couple of listeners from my hometown of Roseau, Minnesota, that are on constant podcasts listening to us with a lot of positive feedback. Their names are Big D and Rissa. So Big D, Rissa, thank you for listening, and we'll keep sending you the podcast.
Well, obviously, Abu knows nothing about a Big D. Anyway, thank you very much for being on the show, Abu. We greatly appreciate it. Nathaniel, I hope you have an amazing day.
Take care, guys.
Bye, Boop.
Bob and Nate, true American heroes. Bob and